Hello, everybody, and welcome to FourWheelTech for January 12th, 2025. Although we're dropping this either this week or next week, this is Season 2, Episode 2. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and in coordination with the sentient AI from the future as co-host, we're going to talk about these 5 articles: dead cars, grilling and lighting, I'm a real car company, my canoe is sinking, and Microlina anti-pickup truck. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com. I use it to manage my information overload. You can too. Just go over and sign up and become a citizen. Then you get a bunch of other functions and features. You'll even be able to submit news to us. See you on the other side. If you want today's show notes, you can hit !FWT or bang FWT for FourWheelTech. That'll tell Omatron to spit out all of the articles in the order that we're going to talk about them. There's only 5, 30 minutes. We tend to run late. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
Okay, so I have a visual interface with the sentient AI from the future. It's a cascade of characters, kind of like the Matrix, and I get to translate it into, because I've been trained to translate this cascade. Nobody can see you wave.
Maybe that's just to you.
You have to wave with your voice.
Okay, I'm waving. I'm waving.
Hey, let's get into this. 30 minutes, right? Has any of our shows today done 30 minutes?
No, not even close.
And we've done 5 shows. Well, this is the 5th.
We were catching up from some yesterday.
Yeah. Mayoral duties prevented us from doing the shows yesterday. Anyway, so this article's over in FourWheelTech, but it's sourced from Jalopnik. Several of our articles today are from Jalopnik. They have great writing, kind of snarky like Mayor Watt. The sentient AI is more pragmatic about their responses, though. So Stellantis sold over 78,000 dead cars in 2024. And if you don't know what a dead car is, it's basically a car that's no longer available.
Right, which kind of raises the question of, like, how did they sell them? Or maybe more importantly, why? Or why did anybody buy them?
But if it's a new sale, then it's a new car being sold that's been in the system without being sold. So it's being sold as new, but it's dead.
It's new, but good luck getting any support for it or anything.
Let's just jump straight on over to it. So Stellantis sold over 78,000 dead cars in 2024. About 6% of all the cars Stellantis sold in 2024 were killed off before the year even began.
Okay, is this kind of the equivalent of the things out on the sidewalk tables?
Oh, yeah. So for context, I have a theory that as soon as a name brand store starts putting bric-a-brac out on the front of their store on folding tables, you know those white folding tables that if you were to lean on too hard, they would buckle? Yeah. As soon as that happens, start a timer because you've got less than 5 years to find a new job, to, whatever, capitalize on whatever is going on. But the days of that company are numbered, right? And I can you tell me of a store and I will tell you if they had white tables out in front, like Bed Bath & Beyond started putting bric-a-brac out in front of the store because they couldn't jam pack enough crap inside. Floor to rafters, there was crap inside. This was not ADA compliant. You couldn't get a wheelchair. You couldn't get anything. I mean, grandma's walker wouldn't be allowed through the aisles without fear of her tripping and getting knocked unconscious by the towels would not save.
Who knew shopping for linens was so dangerous?
That's right. So Andy Kolmowitz over at Jalopnik put this article together, and it says in 2024, Stellantis sold 1.3 million vehicles across 6 brands in the U.S. at exorbitant rates, by the way. Of those, 78,000 were discontinued before the 2024 model year, yet they kept showing up. The vast majority, 61,000, were from Dodge Charger and Challenger.
I wonder if the customers even knew they were discontinued.
Maybe they didn't care, right? I guess. Both of those cars were discontinued at the very end of the 2023 model year. Still 9 vehicles that weren't technically on sale in 2024 ended up in the year-end spreadsheet. That means about 6% of all of the cars that Stellantis sold were zombies.
I mean, that does raise some questions about them and their future.
Dodge Dart I actually liked. I wish that it would persist, but I like the design. But
how was it sold? It was discontinued 8 years ago.
It had to have been sitting in a storefront somewhere, right? Like
in the showroom.
The showroom. Like, this is what we have, and it had to have been like the best, the ultimate Dodge Dart. Dodge Viper is a collector vehicle. Now, I've driven a Dodge Viper. I did not like it. But some people like basically laying on their back like a creeper in a auto repair shop. If you've never seen a creeper, you lay on your back and it allows you to scoot underneath a car. Anyway. Yeah, I don't like them. Anyway, Jeep Cherokee, Jeep Renegade, Ram ProMaster City. These were all 2023 and earlier model years. Yikes.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So somebody, and like the article says here, the real hero of this list is the one guy who bought a brand new Dodge Viper in 2024. Baller move. Hope they were rewarded by driving, it says, by the driving gods with great roads and zero traffic for years to come. But that car, it's been sitting around for 8 years. That means that the engine would have to be reconditioned. You would have to sit there and babysit all of the fluids and stuff, because who knows what, I mean, they'd also like to know what animal bought a Dodge Dart brand new in 2024. They remember making a joke about this years ago, and even more wild in 2024 about apparently somebody posted that they were the guy who bought a new Dodge Dart in 2022. 2 years later, somebody buys a new Dodge Dart that was discontinued in 2016. I actually liked them. Anyway. Charger
Maybe
Daytona
you're
EV.
the one who purchased.
I am not. No.
Then I really don't know what's going on here.
I think that they were irrationally priced even in 2016. Can't imagine what they are now. So yeah, if we took Dodge by itself, 61,508 out of its 141,730 sales were from zombie cars. That means that 43% of all Dodge cars were zombies before they even got sold. Pretty wild. All right, folks, let's keep going. So grills and driving lights make my little German hybrid look like a rally icon. I don't think that's a euphemism. So once again, they've listened to the little worm in their brain that tells them to fiddle with their nearly already perfect daily driver. It's a very persuasive worm. I don't know if you want to admit to having a worm in your brain. We know somebody else that has admitted to having a worm in their brain.
Well, it's not.
Anyway.
I think most people don't want worms in their brains.
And don't brag about it, because it makes you do stupid things, apparently. Anyway, this time the worm told them to modify their Audi A3 e-tron. Needed a black honeycomb grille to replace the bechromed factory fitment, as well as a pair of matching brake ducts and whatever else they decided to do. Oh, well, I mean, come on. That doesn't look that bad. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. So I used to know somebody that made custom grills. Thought it was really interesting. Really heavy duty grills for vehicles and for trucks, large trucks. Bradley Brunel, because the factory grill was a piece of crap and would break if
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know
the
why,
wind
other
hit
than
it
if
hard.
somebody wanted a different look.
Yeah, so Audi honeycomb grills are forever the best design. I agree. I really like honeycomb grills. Once again, they listen to their little brainworm. I don't really like that design. I like the honeycomb one. It's more industrial. Hexagons are the bestigons kind of a thing. And so they got matching, what do they call them? Brake ducts and a pair of hella driving lights mounted right in the front. So it's getting closer to Mad Max Road Warrior style of an Audi e-tron. So yeah, that doesn't look very pretty, but I suspect that, oh wow, they they did it themselves. Anyway, this isn't really hexagon.
No, it's like diamonds or something.
Yeah, that's diamond. Yeah, they say hexagon. Oh, honeycomb, but that's hexagon. Honeycomb
Yeah,
is hexagon.
honeycomb has to be hexagon.
Yeah, come on now. So, knowing that it would need some serious modification to fit the e-tron's 4 rings badge charging port door, they ordered a brand new S3 style mesh grill and matching brake duct grills. Not only would this make the car look a bit more aggressive without the cutesy chrome, but it ditches the integrated Euro style front plate bracket that looks like a nudity sensor bar. Hold on. Yeah, that right there.
Oh, it's like, what?
Don't show the e-tron's naughty bits. They're behind that right there. The charging port. I should move on. Anyway, once the grill was off the once it was off, the factory grill was easy to remove. Basically, removing the front bumper. Which this is easy mode. Man, you want to do something on like a Mini, you have to remove the front clip to get to the. What was it? Okay, so it was like $50 part, but then $2,000 in labor because they have to remove the front of the car to get to the air conditioning box, the dehydration thing. Wow. Anyway, the e-tron's Audi emblem was mounted about an inch higher than the emblem on the S3 grill, naturally, so it wasn't the work of a moment, but so they modified things to fit how they needed it and reattached their Audi parts and then swapped out the brake scoops and mounted the lights, and off they go. It's too much work for me. I would not bother doing that much.
I do think the grill looks better than the original, but it would be better with hexagons.
It would be, yeah. Hexagons are the bestigons. So they say if they could go back and do this again, they probably would opt out of the rally lights as they caused the most of the troubles for the project. Yeah, some people will just modify their car like that. Sometimes it works out really great. Yeah, I haven't done that kind of work since I was a teenager, so I just want shit to work nowadays. Anyway, pretty cool. It looks a lot better than it did like that. So it looks better like that.
It does. Maybe Audi will take some inspiration from this.
And this is probably going to be more expensive, so nope. Moving on. Next article is over in FourWheelTech. Chrysler insists it's still a car company. I'm a real boy. And it's totally developing new cars you just can't see yet. Like my girlfriend in Canada. Right? You wouldn't know her. Anyway, currently the only vehicle Chrysler sells is the Pacifica. Oh, hold on. Wait. There we go.
Right.
Yeah. Currently the only vehicle that Chrysler sells is the Pacifica. It's a good minivan if you ignore the reliability issues, especially since you can get a plug-in hybrid, but that's it. The 300 is dead. The Voyager doesn't count.
How does a car company only have one car?
Because it's dying.
Not like a specialized. Well, we saw what happened like with the Fisker, but
right. I mean, Chrysler's been around for a long time. Colin Woodard over at jalopnik.com put the article together. They'll definitely be great cars that many people will want to buy, though. So this car will never see the light of day beyond it being a prototype. It just, well, it's a supercar. It's never going to see anything. Anyway, if Chrysler really is going to mount a comeback, it's going to take more than a redesigned Pacifica to do it. The upcoming Pacifica EV will probably be pretty cool, but it sold fewer than 125,000 cars this year, down more than 80% compared to the 600,000 or so that it sold back in 2005. So 20 years later, it's dead.
Wow.
But while you can't necessarily put much faith in company statements, someone's already tried to buy Chrysler and been shot down. So it does sound like Stellantis is serious about keeping the minivan maker around.
I know what they need to do.
What's that?
They need to sell the prior year models
From 2005.
that are the dead cars. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But the ones from 2005, don't try remanufacturing them because it's probably going to be.
Oh, no. I mean the zombie cars.
Yeah. How many of those do you think are still? How many zombie cars do you think that they have in a warehouse somewhere?
I imagine they have quite a few.
That would be hilarious. So what does it look like?
What if they ramped up production right before the sales dropped?
Oh, plummeted, and they're like, what do we do with all these? We can't, let's sell them. Somebody will buy it. Look, somebody bought a Viper.
Let's sell them to a rental car company.
Oof. Apparently, Chrysler's plans involve both an SUV, shocking, and a coupe or sedan based on the Halcyon concept, the one above, I think. The SUV will probably be whatever, but a production version of the Halcyon, now that's something they could get behind. That car looked good. I think that's the Halcyon right there.
I mean, it looks neat. Whether it makes it to the road is a different matter.
There's a movie called The Wraith, and this car looks a lot like the car in The Wraith. But that actually is a known car. I can't remember the model, but anyway, this looks really cool. But unless it's four-door, man, nobody in a suit is getting into the back of a coupe.
Yeah, but people buying this kind of car are not, well, I don't know. They're not necessarily concerned about their passengers.
Yeah, baby in a car seat. It's going right there. Right back there in that crawl space. You say, tuck in, little baby. It's going to get tight back there. Moving on. Next article is over in FourWheelTech. Canoe must survive long enough for me to get my $100 deposit back, damn it. I mean, Canoe must survive long enough for its adorable Royal Mail delivery van to take over. I want a canoe. I'm willing to buy a canoe.
But this is a car canoe for those in the podcast. CANOO.
As in, can you see that I'm out of the option of getting my money refunded? Anyway, there's a lot of electric vehicle startups designing a lot of cool EVs, each one having varying levels of success. Canoe is one such startup that had a tumultuous few years, but now, after dodging death countless times, Fisker basically fisked itself out of existence. So come on, Canoe. Pick up the pieces and keep moving forward, please. I really want a canoe. I really, really want a canoe. But you all need to change your style. Be the innovator and do fast swap battery tech and start concentrating on the supply chain for a fast swap battery. Anyway, it's got a new delivery van out on the road that they can't help but fall in love with. And I am one of those. I want this. I want this so bad I can taste it. British Postal Service Royal Mail has started a trial with the electric vans from Canoe, and they look so cute that they just want to smush them all up. But you know what? Maybe the software is going to say that they're stealing money from the tin or from the till, and their Canoe vehicles are going to get charged and prosecuted and thrown in jail.
Yeah, I don't see that.
No?
But I know why you're bringing that up.
I guess they're not a postmaster. Anyway, Owen Bellwood over at Jalopnik put this article together. Formed in California in 2017, Canoe set out to create a range of electric vans that put cutesy styling on the same pedestal as technological prowess. As such, its pickup truck was adorable anti-Cybertruck, And its delivery van was like a jelly bean on wheels. I absolutely love all of their designs. I liked it so much that in 2018, I think it was actually, I put a down payment on one of these cars and put my name in the roster, only to be told that they're basically wetting the bed. Um, I want this so bad. I really do.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's hard not to like this vehicle.
cute cars don't make money, it seems, and the startup has been skating on thin ice for years, despite getting a contract from NASA to develop a new astronaut transporter and working with the USPS to roll out electric delivery vans. Canoe's finances have been in the red for a long time. It doesn't help that there's regulatory capture with SpaceX basically using nothing but SpaceX, well, batshit crazy stuff. Anyway, so there's no real competition. NASA may have gotten a contract, but NASA's money is going to SpaceX, and by proxy, Tesla. I'll just say Tesla. Anyway, in 2022, company boss Tony Aquila was forced to comment on allegations that it was near death, attempting to reassure investors by saying that the reports of the company's demise were greatly exaggerated. Still, the bad news has followed Canoo ever since, and just last year it imposed a mandatory unpaid leave on all of its employees. Canoo can't die, however, because the author of this article won't let it cease trading until it's made this wonderful little delivery van a reality. So Canoo has already made some very cute vans for the likes of NASA, but this morning they saw pictures of a Canoo van painted up in Royal Mail colors, and that made their heart a little fluttery. I dig this.
It's pretty cute.
Yep. So I want one. If anybody has one, contact me. According to Electric Vehicles, the test program for the Canoo vans is part of a push from Royal Mail to add more than 2,000 electric vehicles to its delivery fleet over the coming years. While the majority of these electric vans will be supplied by Stellantis,
Oh my.
Canoo's impending launch in the UK could mean that the cutesy little vans may become commonplace in the Royal Mail fleet, which I think is sexist. I think it should be the Royal Letter fleet, just to remove the... Anyway, I'm just messing around, folks. Don't cancel me. Anyway, all they need now is to convince the Royal Mail to start testing the Canoo delivery vans near their house so that they'll be a happy little chappy. I would never say that phrase in my life.
No. I mean, if you can't have a Canoo, if it can drive near your house, I guess that's the next best thing.
If you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter. What? Half the video is some guy talking about it.
It's not showing the Canoo, exactly. Let's see it driving down the road or something.
Anyway, I dig this. The only problem with this is that big old air dam, it's very akin to, oh my God, it looks beat up inside. Like, the floorboards are dirty. Nobody has cleaned that thing in.
Well, it's driving in rural, muddy areas.
Don't get all technically correct. Look at you. Anyway, isn't that awesome? That just looks so cool. I love it. I love it. All right.
You might have to make a site visit to go find one.
Whoa. What just happened? Go away. Wow, that blew up everything. Anyway, let's move on. Our last article is over in Non Sequitur News. Microlina's anti-pickup truck is designed for Americans. No. I don't know what kind of marketing they've been blowing around, but I don't think this has anything. Americans, the bulk of Americans are interested in an F-150.
Right. It's probably certain segments.
So Microlina's anti-pickup truck is designed for Americans. Micro, maker of those electric bubble cars found in some European cities, has a new Microlino, especially for Americans. The all-electric Microlina Spider is dubbed the anti-pickup truck and is meant for people who don't have to overcompensate. It is meant to be a golf cart replacement. No, it's not for use on fairways, but at expensive resorts and so-called golf cart communities where well-heeled urbanites can retire in the relative safety of walkable villages with low-speed roads. So zoom zoom, not built for the 5% of trips that you need to haul a lot, but for the 95% of trips where you are alone. Thomas Ricker over at The Verge put this article together.
Okay, that's a cute vehicle.
Yeah. So is this actually a Solo? It says low-speed roads where you're alone. Right?
Americans, it looks like there might be 2 seats.
Yeah, this perspective doesn't really advance our knowledge much. Americans don't just drive large cars. In fact, the U.S. is the world's biggest market for golf carts, where they're often used for personal transport within neighborhoods, says Wim Aubauter, founder and chair of Switzerland-based Micro. That's exactly why we created the Microlino Spider. Consider it the antithesis of massive electric pickup trucks not built for the 5%, but for the 95% of trips where you are alone. So this is horrible. It's open door and open roof, designed to make it easy to jump in and out from the sides. That's a marked departure from the highway legal Microlino Dolce that they reviewed last year, or the slower light version that only requires a moped license, both of which you enter through the vehicle's hinged face to the delight of onlookers. There's a link, but I'm not going to follow it. Unfortunately for Micro, Americans are increasingly drawn to larger and more dangerous vehicles. Just about every truck and SUV sold today is bigger than they were 20 years ago, and those behemoths make up 80% of the vehicles sold in the U.S. So I am right. Whoever it is that did market research for this is wrong. And those behemoths make up about 80% of the vehicles sold in the U.S., and experts have warned that the bigger vehicle, the bigger the risk to pedestrians and cyclists of injury or death. I hear the millions of people who have purchased a mega truck and SUV saying, it sounds like it's a you problem.
Yeah. I did find a photo on another site that shows kind of like what I would call like a bench seat, but it has 2 headrests. Like it's a connected seat, but for 2 people.
Oh, so it's a bench. Got it. All right. They took a picture where there's more of a perspective of the person than there is of the seat. Like they nailed that. Huh. So it has 2 headrests. Or is
Correct,
it one long headrest?
But they're connected. No, it's 2 headrests, but the seat is all connected.
Yeah, so it's a bench seat. But the bench seat must be like this wide. One butt cheek is hanging off on each side of that bench. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to hop into our Microlino anti-pickup truck and speed at 90 miles an hour down ohmTown's Main Street, looking left and right at the articles that we just passed up. You can too. Go over to ohmTown.com and become a citizen. But until next week, we're signing off. There will be a replay of all of the shows, but.
And we'll have non sequitur news throughout the week.
Correct. Yeah. That's a Monday through Friday show. And then Non Sequitur News Weekend Edition is made up of the 3 shows on Sunday and the 3 shows on Saturday. Each one of those shows are unique, distinct from one another. I shouldn't have said it that way, but anyway. I'm Mayor Watt. I'm saying bye, and so is the sentient AI.
Thanks for joining us, ohmTown citizens. Be back tomorrow for non-sequitur news, and we'll see if the AI has sufficiently rebooted by then.
See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.